Well, there is increasing concern about the toll the conflicts that have gripped the Middle East is having on mental health in the region, as people there continue to face unprecedented challenges. Well, someone who knows all too well about that is Tara Kangarlou, who we can speak to now. She's the founder of Art of Hope, a non-profit organisation that focuses on supporting the mental health and psychological needs of war-torn refugees in conflicts around the world. She's also a global affairs journalist, author and adjunct professor at Georgetown University. Thanks so much for joining us on the programme. Really appreciate your time. First of all, talk us through the work that your organisation does with refugees.
Thank you, Yinka. You were just showing images out of Lebanon and Deir al-Balah, and we're going to talk about that in this segment. But Lebanon, a small country of 6 million that is home to 2 million refugees, Syrian refugees, including 500,000 Palestinian refugees, was really the inspiration behind Art of Hope, the organization that I launched back in 2017 with the mission to support the large influx of Syrian refugees fleeing war and conflict, and also ISIS at the time. And also the vulnerable Lebanese population. And quite frankly, I was angry. I was angry because in my reporting, I realized the little attention that was being paid on mental health and the immense trauma faced by individuals who flee war and conflict and are displaced with no hope and no sense of belonging. And that's how Art of Hope got started. And we worked across Lebanon. And at that time, experiencing our work with the Syrian refugee population, I didn't think that it can get worse. But today, what we are seeing in the region is just mind-boggling. And I say that with consideration for other conflicts around the world. Every single person who's affected by war and conflict is facing some sort and form of trauma, whether it's Sudan, Afghanistan, and Ukraine. And we also have, by the way, programming in Ukraine. But again, Yinka, just 30 minutes ago, I was talking to two of our partners in Beirut right now. 10 minutes walking distance from their home, the building was hit. Just last week, another one of our partners who Art of Hope has been working with for 7 years, he lost his home in the Bekaa Valley. He's a sports coach. He's someone who's been working with Syrian and Lebanese populations for years, and now he himself has lost his home. And, you know, just moments ago, one of our teachers is quite late right now. In the evening, from Deir al-Balah, Aus, one of our teachers. He's a young 27-year-old theater actor and artist, and he messaged me. He said, you know, we try to smile, we laugh, but deep down, we all know it's a desperate attempt to escape. So it's quite grim, and you know, we try to do the best we can with Art of Hope.
Truly harrowing stuff there. We've recently marked 1 year of war in Gaza. Let's focus on the plight of children there at the moment. Just give us a sense of how vulnerable children there are and the trauma that they've gone through throughout this year.
Absolutely. And I just want to share this with your viewers. Very few people know that the Gaza Strip is one of the places in the world with the highest literacy rate. People in that strip are educated, they're ambitious, they have the same hopes and dreams, the majority of them, as young people and young professionals around the world, right? But all of them are categorically stripped away from their dignity. Again, Aus told me that we're humiliated. What's happening to us is humiliating, and that is dangerous. Pertaining to children, again, almost all children in Gaza did not get a chance to go to school. There was an interesting report back in 2020, a study by UNICEF that said more than half of Gazan children suffer from anxiety and depression. And 70% of the adults equally. And I do wonder, when you take everything away from a population that was already vulnerable, what happens to that? And that is dangerous. When you take someone's belonging, someone's hope, someone's dignity, that is dangerous. And what we're facing right now is a generation that will have an immense amount of trauma. The reality on the ground is that every single person in Gaza either have lost an immediate family member or a distant family member. People have been displaced not just once, but twice, but on multiple occasions. And that is not something that can be discarded. These are hundreds of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of children who have seen so much that cannot be processed. And I fundamentally believe that in any rehabilitation effort, mental health has to be a priority.
Well, let's talk about rehabilitation, Tara. Tell us about what you would like to see being done, what steps you would like to see being taken to help people struggling with their mental health in these conflict-ridden areas.
I consider myself a messenger and someone who can just amplify the voices of people who are being affected by this enormous amount of tragedy and trauma, constant strikes, constant anxiety of death. That's nothing that we would understand. And I think if you ask every single one of these individuals who are experiencing things, they would say, stop this, stop the strikes. Every single person in Lebanon, in Gaza, and quite frankly, elsewhere in the world, who is experiencing death, destruction, and airstrikes and loss would know very well that none of that is going to bring stability, peace, and security to anyone. And I think powers to be need to realize that. And on top of that, when you strip people away from their dignity, when you dehumanize a generation, an entire population, like I said, that is dangerous. And that's when anger would evolve into revenge. And history has shown that to us. And I think these are very simple realities that need to be considered with the understanding that this enormous amount of destruction need to stop.
Well, we hope that the world heeds your call there. That's Tara Kangarlou. Thank you so much for giving us your insight. Good luck with the work that your non-profit association does. That's Art of Hope. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. Really appreciate getting your thoughts there.
Thank you.
Well,